Now, Sabrina Ionescu quickly, swiftly, and in a hurry kind of tried to stop Kelsey Plum from taking these little shots.
Sabrina Ionescu broke her silence, and what she revealed has sent shockwaves through the basketball world. The New York Liberty superstar, known for staying out of drama, just dropped a bombshell about the explosive feud between Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Plum that nobody saw coming. "Not really needed to be mentioned," Ionescu said, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. But those 7 words? They've exposed a war that's been raging behind closed doors for months. A war that threatens to tear the WNBA apart at its most successful moment in history. July 20th, 2025. Indianapolis was buzzing with excitement as the WNBA All-Star Game descended upon the city. What should have been a celebration of the league's brightest talents quickly transformed into a powder keg of controversy that would split the basketball community down the middle.
Team Clark? They had no idea what was awaiting them walking into that locker room come WNBA All-Star Saturday night.
The stage was set for drama from the very beginning. Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever sensation who has single-handedly revolutionized women's basketball viewership, was sidelined with a groin injury. Her absence from the court didn't stop her from attending every event, every party, every photo opportunity, a fact that would later become crucial to understanding the explosive confrontation that followed. Meanwhile, the players had united around a powerful message of financial equality, donning "Pay Us What You Owe Us" t-shirts during warm-ups. It was supposed to be a moment of solidarity, a unified front against league officials during ongoing collective bargaining negotiations. Every player was supposed to be on the same page. But behind the scenes, fractures were already beginning to show. The All-Star Game concluded without incident. Players smiled, fans cheered, and the exhibition showcased everything beautiful about women's basketball. But then came the press conferences, and with them, a moment that would change everything. Kelsey Plum, the 4-time All-Star and Las Vegas Aces champion, sat before a crowd of reporters discussing the powerful statement the players had made with their protest shirts. The conversation was flowing smoothly until someone asked about the planning process behind the coordinated effort. That's when Plum dropped the bombshell that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. With cameras rolling and microphones capturing every word, Plum made what appeared to be an unprovoked jab at Clark and her All-Star teammates. The implication was clear. While other players were fighting for fair compensation and league-wide change, Clark's team was conspicuously absent from the crucial planning meetings.
Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
The words hung in the air like a toxic cloud. Fellow players shifted uncomfortably, reporters exchanged glances. And somewhere in that room, you could almost hear the sound of a friendship, and possibly much more, shattering into pieces.
All in on a small secret.
Within hours, the clip had gone viral. Twitter exploded with hot takes, Instagram stories buzzed with player reactions, and TikTok was flooded with analysis videos breaking down every facial expression, every pause, every carefully chosen word. Sabrina Ionescu has always been known for her measured approach to controversy. The New York Liberty superstar and former Oregon legend built her reputation on letting her play do the talking. But when pressed about the growing tension between 2 of the league's biggest stars, Ionescu couldn't stay silent any longer. Her response was both diplomatic and devastating. "Not really needed to be mentioned," Ionescu said, her discomfort visible as she addressed Plum's comments. The phrase was simple, but the implications were enormous. Here was one of the league's most respected veterans essentially calling out a fellow All-Star for unnecessary drama. According to sources close to the situation, the tension between Clark and Plum isn't new. It's been building for months. The controversy over the protest shirts was just the spark that ignited a fire that had been smoldering since Clark's meteoric rise to superstardom. To understand this drama, you have to understand what's really at stake. Caitlin Clark isn't just another talented player. She's a cultural phenomenon who has transformed the WNBA's financial landscape almost overnight. Her games draw record television audiences. Her jersey sales dwarf those of veteran stars. Her social media following rivals that of NBA superstars. And that success has created an uncomfortable reality for players like Kelsey Plum, who have spent years building the league only to watch a rookie become its biggest draw. The Pay Us What You Owe Us campaign isn't just about general salary increases. It's about how the league's newfound revenue should be distributed.
So the t-shirts don't bother me. But why do you take a shot at the Golden Goose, Caitlin Clark?
Should veteran players who laid the groundwork receive the biggest raises? Or should the market rewards flow to whoever brings in the most eyeballs and advertising dollars? When Clark's team didn't attend the planning meeting for the protest shirts, it sent a message that reverberated throughout the league. The new generation of stars might not be interested in the collective action that has defined WNBA culture for decades. But here's where the story takes an even more dramatic turn. Multiple sources have revealed that the meeting Clark allegedly missed wasn't just about t-shirts, it was about a coordinated strategy to pressure the league into restructuring player compensation in ways that would benefit established veterans at the expense of newer stars. Ionescu's discomfort during Plum's comments suddenly makes more sense. She wasn't just witnessing an awkward moment. She was watching a carefully planned strategy fall apart in real time as internal conflicts spilled into public view. What we're witnessing isn't just a personal feud between two players. It's a generational war for control of the WNBA's future. On one side, veterans like Plum, who have sacrificed for years to build the league's foundation. On the other, newcomers like Clark, who are reaping the benefits of that foundation while bringing unprecedented attention and revenue to the sport. While Caitlin Clark has been breaking records and revolutionizing women's basketball, a disturbing trend has emerged across the league. Players who should be focusing on their own game are instead building their brands on the back of Clark's meteoric rise to superstardom. The most glaring example, Angel Reese's relentless publicity campaign that's turned controversy into cash. Angel Reese has been posting cringe videos on TikTok as her feud with Caitlin Clark escalates. But here's what the media won't tell you. Every single post is strategically timed to maximize attention when Clark is trending.
And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
When Chennedy Carter knocked Caitlin to the ground, Angel was photographed clapping, which caused headlines and a ton of renewed attention. Coincidence? Hardly. Reese knew exactly where those cameras were pointing, and she positioned herself perfectly to insert her narrative into Clark's story. But Reese isn't alone in this calculated exploitation. Look around the league, and you'll see the same playbook being executed by other players desperate for relevance. Every time Clark breaks a record, sets a milestone, or generates headlines, suddenly other players have opinions they need to share publicly. The most telling evidence? The dramatic contrast between Clark's sold-out homecoming game and empty stands for other players has ignited a firestorm across social media. Instead of working to build their own fan bases, these players are more focused on tearing down Clark's success or attaching themselves to her controversies. The current Caitlin Plum tension has created fault lines throughout the league. Younger players are increasingly aligning with Clark's approach, viewing the protest strategy as outdated and potentially counterproductive. Veteran players are rallying around Plum's position, arguing that solidarity is the only way to achieve meaningful change. The numbers tell the story of why this conflict has become so heated. Television ratings for Clark's games have increased by over 400% compared to previous seasons. Merchandise sales featuring her name and number have shattered all previous records. Sponsorship deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars are being negotiated based largely on her marketability. The divide has become so pronounced that some teams have reportedly instituted team meetings specifically designed to prevent the controversy from affecting on-court performance. The drama has extended far beyond the basketball court. Sponsors are nervously watching the situation, concerned that internal conflicts could damage the league's image during a crucial growth period. Television networks are reportedly pressuring league officials to mediate the dispute before it affects viewership numbers. Fan bases have become increasingly polarized, with Clark supporters viewing her as a victim of jealousy and veteran advocacy groups rallying around Plum's position. Social media engagement around the controversy has actually increased overall interest in the league, but at the cost of internal harmony. The situation has become so complex that league officials are reportedly considering unprecedented intervention to prevent the conflict from escalating further. The basketball world is holding its breath, waiting to see how this explosive situation will resolve. Multiple sources suggest that behind-the-scenes negotiations are already underway to try to broker some kind of peace between the warring factions. But the fundamental issues at the heart of the conflict, questions about compensation, player power, and the direction of the league, remain unresolved. And with the regular season resuming soon, the pressure is building for some kind of resolution before the drama spills onto the court in ways that could damage the sport's reputation. Ionescu's position as a mediating voice has made her one of the most influential players in these discussions. Her ability to bridge the generational divide could determine whether the WNBA emerges from this controversy stronger or more fractured than ever. This isn't just about two players having a disagreement. The outcome of this controversy will determine the future direction of women's professional basketball. Will the league embrace an individual star system that rewards marketability and performance? Or will it maintain its traditional emphasis on collective action and shared success? The financial implications are staggering. Hundreds of millions of dollars in potential revenue hang in the balance, depending on how the league navigates this crisis. The wrong decision could set back women's basketball for years, while the right approach could launch it into unprecedented success. For players like Sabrina Ionescu, caught between competing visions of the sport's future, the pressure to find a solution has never been greater. The drama between Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Plum has exposed deep fault lines in the WNBA that nobody knew existed. Sabrina Ionescu's response has provided a window into just how complex and high stakes this situation has become. As the basketball world waits for the next development in this explosive saga, one thing is certain: the WNBA will never be the same. The question is whether that change will ultimately benefit or harm the sport that millions of fans have come to love. What do you think about this unprecedented drama rocking the WNBA? Are you Team Clark or Team Plum? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, but keep it respectful. Make sure to smash that like button if you want more breaking basketball drama. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest controversy and analysis.